not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Welcome to the Mental Health Check-In, Your Revolution Shall Be Televised workshop, developed, facilitated, and recorded at the Universal Truth Center for Better Living on Saturday, May 3rd, 2025 in Miami Gardens, Florida. Though the workshop was recorded live in its entirety, the beginning was unfortunately truncated, so the first few slides have been re-recorded. But rest assured, the bulk and the most important parts of the workshop will soon follow. So let's begin. To televise is to broadcast or be broadcast on television. A broadcast system in which special providers, that would be each of us, transmits a continuous program, continuous content to the public or subscribers by way of antenna, cable, or satellite dishes on multiple channels. Video content is specifically of short programs, but simply put, to televise is to bring life to manifest from an idea to the living world. With that in mind, let's briefly review what is involved in this workshop. First, I am Guileine F, a licensed clinical social worker with more than 20 years of experience, including as a behavioral science officer in the Army National Guard. I'm also a member of the Universal Truth Center for Better Living and have been since about 8 or 9 years old. Therefore, I am a New Thought practitioner. In this workshop, for the purposes of this recorded video, we will discuss a few expectations and housekeeping matters. We will explore forgiveness process and hope to make some space for you to consider who and whose you are as God's beloved. We will consider some strategies for sharing and spreading love throughout the world, and we'll start with you. We'll finish up with the work part of this workshop with giving consideration for how you will televise your revolution. Whether you like it or not, you are televising all the time. So let's televise with intention. We'll then round it up with an opportunity for a love offering. Even as you're watching this on-demand recording, your love offering will be happily accepted and will help future programming such as this one. We ask that you designate that the love offering is for the Mental Health Check-Ins workshop. Lastly, I will share opportunities to join me for future virtual workshops and/or an opportunity to purchase the shirt that you see me wearing proudly, announcing to the world that my revolution is televised. Much of the housekeeping and expectations content is not pertinent for the recording, but what is pertinent is that you will see some scriptures included throughout the slides and in the workbook that's available by PDF. Some of the scriptures will be reviewed, but some of them will not be. So I invite you to explore the scriptures if you so choose at any time, or just pause the video and come back to it, whatever suits you most. We may get into some stuff. We may step on some toes. If you need a break, take a break. You're not going to miss anything. Again, it's recorded, and you have a workbook. And you will always have an opportunity to ask some questions. So I invite you to follow along in your workbook and to know that what you see up on the PowerPoint, by and large, is in your workbook. There will be different kinds of activities that we're doing here, again, to help you have some tools to take with you. Slide, please. So we're here to develop and expand strategies and methods grounded in Scripture for managing the dis-eases, not disease, the dis-eases of today. We are learning how to actively make decisions about how to televise our revolution. We all experience anxiety. We all experience uncertainties, discomforts. We all need strategies for support. This is what we're here for today, to gain some strategies and to think through things a little bit differently. We are not going to explicitly talk about anxiety. We're not going to explicitly talk about the stuff that you're dealing with every day. We're just going to do the stuff that can help you work through those things. And you might hear me pop it in there every now and again. So we're going to be sharing things in perhaps a slightly different way than you may be accustomed to in a standard mental health check-in, well-being workshop. This is a workshop, so I want to do work. I don't want to talk at you. Slide, please. Diseases. The diseases of today include anxiety, maybe feeling a little blue. I have a client who says, I'm just having a blue day. Not feeling quite right on that particular day, not knowing why, waking up and hoping to be in your right mind, but you're not quite sure where your mind is. We're going to work our way back to the right mind. A disease is an affliction. In the Bible, it very clearly says, consider my affliction and my trouble and forgive my sins in Psalm 25 and 18. An affliction is a disease, something that makes you uncomfortable, something that's not quite sitting quite right, that knee ain't quite moving the way you want it to move. There's a little ringing in your ear that's not quite a problem, but there's just something that's telling you to do something that feels a bit uncomfortable. Our diseases are just those things that cause or accelerate discomfort in our thoughts and our feelings, our emotions, and our experiences. Slide, please. So let's start doing work. What are your diseases? What today are you feeling diseased about? What are you feeling afflicted with today? How are you defining that affliction? What are you thinking and feeling about that? Are other people involved in that affliction? Or is it just you? Is it an event? Maybe somebody is working every nerve on the left and 13 on the right. For me, there's a thing that has been coming up lately that is a dis-ease for me. And it might seem simple to some, but it does a thing to me, and that's people mispronouncing my name. I get it. My name is Guileine, and if you see it spelled, it gives you all kinds of stuff when you don't speak French, and specifically Haitian French. And even some who do have a trouble with it. It does a thing to me, and it's taken me nearly 47 years to start to work on that. And to understand that it's not about other people, it's about me, because it's my affliction. Not asking questions about how to properly pronounce my name. Not noticing it when you've said it wrong and somebody else just said it correctly. That's my affliction. What's yours? See, it doesn't have to be a huge major thing, but it only has to be major to you because you're the only person that gets to decide what the impact of that thing is for you and to you. So let's take an assessment of what's afflicting me today, right now. How am I thinking about it? How am I feeling about it? Who's involved in it? Or is it just me? Slide, please. Slide, please. Feel free to continue writing. You'll have a little bit more time. but I want to start talking about forgiveness. And in Matthew 11 and 25, we find that, but when you are praying, first forgive anyone you are holding a grudge against, so that my Father in heaven will forgive my sins also. What are we doing when we're praying? From a New Thought perspective, praying is aligning our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with divine mind to realize spiritual truth, healing, and transformation. It's not about asking for stuff. It's not about hoping for something to go away or somebody to go away. It's getting into alignment. When we are in alignment, our afflictions look, feel, and act differently. So we start with forgiveness, not only because it is grounded in Scripture. Slide, please. Slide, please. There we go. Thank you. Forgiveness is grounded in Scripture. And our spiritual mother here at UTC, Reverend Mary Tompkins, she wrote this little book that you can find in the bookstore, On Your Way Out, Before You Pray, Forgive. But we also start with forgiveness because it's what helps us to release those grudges. It's what helps us to declutter, to move stuff out of the way so that we have the space, the consciousness to get aligned with the divine, to get aligned with spirit. Because two things can't operate the same space at the same time. So if I'm holding on to a thing, then I can't make space to get into alignment. So I've got to move the stuff out of the way. I've got to clear out negative emotions. I got to clear out those adverse things, those afflictions that are impacting me. Because those grudges, those uncomfortable dis-eases, they do things to us. The negative emotions, the negative thoughts, they impact our blood pressure. They cause us to experience anxiety. They may cause us to experience sadness, depression, something in my pinky toe. They do things to us. And so we work to move them out of the way so that we can experience everything that we were put here to experience. It helps us to join what Reverend Mitch reminded us of, that culture of freedom, that community of revolution that is directly tied to lowering your blood pressure, to bringing down your emotional tension so that you're not experiencing the anxiety, so that you're not experiencing the depression, so that you're not manifesting that thing in the hip. So let's explore what forgiveness really is. Slide, please. Forgiveness is the letting go of the past, letting go of the hope of changing something that happened, letting go of the perceptions, the regrets that you had associated with that thing. It's embracing the present moment, opening up your heart, giving yourself an opportunity to grow. It's navigating into inner peace, holding each other and yourselves accountable, and pumping in love, compassion, and strength. Every place you have an opportunity to pump in love, compassion, and strength. Slide, please. But forgiveness is not a feeling. The feeling is the result of the forgiveness. The forgiveness itself is not the feeling. The forgiveness itself is the work. The feeling is the result of the work, the product of the work. Forgiveness doesn't mean that I forget, that I'm going to tolerate it, or that I trust you again. It does mean that I open space for the opportunity for you to regain the trust. I can love you from a distance. I don't have to trust you because I forgave you. I don't have to reconcile with you. You don't have to continue to be a part of my experience. You came to teach me, you taught me, thank you, from over there. I do not condone it. It is not okay. It's important for us to understand what forgiveness is not. Slide, please. So let's start working on some forgiveness. Go back, please. 1. Thank you. Start with doing the work. Right? So remember that affliction you were just writing about, thinking about, exploring a little bit further? We're going to work with that affliction. Remember, mine is people mispronouncing my name. So we're going to hear about that. We're going to work through that a little bit. And the workbook provides you with the same information. So first, this is a process. There are many forgiveness processes. This isn't the end-all and be-all of forgiveness processes. This is a process that I have put together, that I use for myself, that I've invited clients to use who have found great value in it, that I've borrowed bits and pieces from different places in scripture and just what Spirit led me to do. So we might call this a forgiveness process by Dr. Guileine F. We'll just say that. The first thing I want you to do is to name the thing, right? There's always a thing, and that thing is what the affliction is. It could be a person, it could be an event, it could be an experience, it could be a knee. What is that thing for you? For me, it's my name doesn't get pronounced correctly. So go ahead and feel free to make note in your workbook of what your thing is. And after you've made a note of your thing, you might want to take a deep breath. Because for some of us, it carries some emotion in it. Slide, please. So after you've named the thing, write to the thing. What are your feelings? What are your interpretations? What are your thoughts about the thing? You'll notice in your workbook there are some examples to help you out. They are not on the slide, but they are in your workbook. What is the impact of the thing on you, on somebody you love, on your work day, on that party you're planning? I invite you to give yourself permission to just write. Don't censor yourself. Don't edit yourself. Whatever comes up, just write it. So for me, writing to the thing looks like being disregarded. Feeling like folks are not putting respect on my name. I'm gonna need you to put some respect on my name. Feeling like I'm insignificant, like I don't matter enough to care to say my name correctly, the way my mama intended, the way my daddy intended. My actual name is a combination of my grandparents' names, which is also part of why it has significance for me, because then I feel like you're doing a thing to them, and that's really a problem for me. So write to the thing. That's what writing to the thing might look like for you. And when you're done writing to the thing, you might want to take a deep breath. Because for some of us, it may be heavy. Slide, please. The next step, we'll call it step 3, is freely and fully letting the thing go. Now we're going through this a little quickly. I see some faces of, but wait, I'm not sure if I'm ready to really freely and fully let it go. That's okay. Again, we're going through this kind of quickly. That's why I wanted to put it in your workbook to give you a chance to go do it in your time. When I share this with clients, I let clients know you might not do all of these pieces in the same day. You might not do all of these pieces in the same week. I do encourage you not to wait more than a week or a couple of days even between steps. We're going through it a little bit quickly. If you need a break, take a break. Because at step 3, we're working towards freely and fully letting it go. And that literally means writing it out. I freely and fully release the people I feel a thing about because they haven't learned to pronounce my name correctly, because they haven't cared, in my view, that's the way I feel about it, enough to learn to pronounce my name correctly. I freely and fully let it go so that I can reclaim my worthiness. I reclaim my power for my name. I reclaim my respect for my name. That's my choice. That ain't got nothing to do with anybody else, because they didn't do it to me, so they can't take it away from me. I freely and fully let it go. I freely and fully forgive and release. Slide, please. Now, it may seem like steps 3 and 4 are a little bit out of order. They're not. I had to let it go in order to create space for the lessons in step 4. What did this come to teach me? People mispronouncing my name came to teach me it is my responsibility. It is my responsibility. It is only my responsibility to accept my worthiness, to claim my worthiness, to put respect on my name. It is my responsibility to help people to understand that they may be mispronouncing my name because they may not realize it. I don't understand how they don't hear it. I really, really don't. But that's on me, not on them. So it came to teach me to reclaim my power. It came to teach me how to love me differently. It came to teach me that what they think of me is none of my business. And it came to teach me that what I think of them is entirely my business. So thank you for the lesson that I need to turn within. Thank you for the lesson to reclaim my power. Thank you for the lesson to mind my business about what you think and to mind my business about what I think. Thank you for the lesson. It is important that when you're exploring the lessons, that you list out the lessons, and it is important that you express gratitude for each lesson. Slide, please. Because we cleared out some space, and now we got to put some stuff back in it. If you're a regular member of UTC or of UFBL or of New Thought, you understand that the universe operates in balance. If I remove something, something will get put in its place. So I either choose to actively put something in its place, or I may not like what came into its place. I choose to actively put something in its place when I'm given the choice, when I'm given the option. And in this process, I have the choice. So I'm going to choose to fill the space with doing some inner work, digging up that root of where did that lack of worth come from? Where did I get the idea that it wasn't appropriate for me to tell people that you're not pronouncing my name correctly? And so now I have the power to gently and lovingly let somebody know. It's not quite what it is. Let me help you know what it is. I don't have to do it publicly, but I must do it lovingly if I'm going to appropriately fill the space. There will be some other ideas about how to fill this space a little bit later, also. Slide, please. So we've named the thing, we've written to the thing, we've let it go freely and fully, we've learned the lessons, we've looked to fill the space, and now we gotta forgive ourselves. There is always a forgiving of yourself when you think you're forgiving somebody. Because nobody did anything to me. If I am experiencing it, I called it to me to teach me something, to show me something about me. So there is something in me that needs to be forgiven. I allowed people to persist at mispronouncing my name. I did that, not them. They didn't realize it. I allowed myself to not feel worthy. I did that. They didn't do it. They just put the mirror up in my face. I allowed myself to not feel respected. I need to forgive me for allowing it, for however long I allowed it. And when I forgive me, I look for the lessons. I freely and fully forgive me. I freely and fully release me. And I fill the space. And I fill the space with reminding myself that I was born perfect, whole, and complete. Perfect in the image and likeness of God. Slide, please. Again, I'm going to say it. We're doing this quickly. It may not go this quickly for you. It might not. And that's okay. There is no wrong way to do it except to not do it. And then once you've done it, rinse and repeat. Because it's going to come back up. More than likely. It may not be the same thing. That's okay. Use the same process for a different affliction. Or it might seem to come back. But no, I did that. Like, no, I'd handled that. But if it came back up, there's something about it that still needs attention. There's something about it that it's still teaching me. And that's okay, because there are new lessons in it. There are new opportunities in it for you. So do it as many times as you need to. There's no magic number of times. You know, sometimes they say 70 times 70. Okay. Whatever it takes. Rinse and repeat as needed. Slide, please. So that was a lot. Potentially, that was a lot. So we're going to give you another, not quite yet, thank you. Give you an opportunity to gain another strategy to help lower some of what you may be experiencing. I'm going to take you through what I call my superpower is my mind. And this was borrowed and adapted from Joseph Murphy's The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Will it play the music? It looks like no. So I'm going to invite you to get comfortable. Yep, there we go. Get comfortable. Maybe take everything out of your hands. Close your eyes. Take 2 or 3 deep breaths and slow your exhale. Just allow me to guide you through. I release all tension in my feet. My feet are relaxed. I release all tension in my ankles. My ankles are relaxed. I release all tension in my legs. My legs are relaxed. I release all tension in my abdomen. My abdomen is relaxed. I release all tension in my heart and lungs. My heart and lungs are relaxed. I release all tension in my hands. My hands are relaxed. I release all tension in my arms. My arms are relaxed. I release all tension in my shoulders. My shoulders are relaxed. I release all tension in my neck. My neck is relaxed. I release all tension in my face. My face is relaxed. I release all tension in my head. My head is relaxed. I release all tension in my whole being. My whole being is completely relaxed. I release all tension in my thoughts. My thoughts are at peace. I release all tension in my feelings. My feelings are at peace. I am infused with love. I'm connected to my thoughts. I am connected to my feelings. My mind is my superpower. I am in control. God is my source. The perfection of God is expressed through me. The idea of perfect life is filling my subconscious mind. I am the perfect image of God. My subconscious mind recreates every aspect of my being in perfect accordance with the perfect image held in the mind of God. I see myself doing the thing I want most next in my life. I feel myself walking the hallway, putting on the clothes, thinking the thoughts, feeling the feelings, seeing the crowd, hearing the messages, writing the mortgage check, receiving the stock options. I see myself doing the thing. I feel myself working through the thing. I experience every good part of that thing I want next in my life. I walk through it with confidence, knowing that it is already mine. It was intended for me. I walk through each piece of it. I feel myself getting into the car. I feel myself walking into the house. I feel myself in the boardroom having the meeting. I feel myself on the plane headed on that world vacation. I am doing all of the things I want most next. I see it, I feel it, I call all of the thoughts to me. And when I am ready, I thank God for it. And I slowly open my eyes. Slide, please. Take a deep breath. You have that meditation in your workbook. The back end of that visualization piece, make it yours. All of it, in fact, make it yours. If you don't need to relax your ankles, don't relax your ankles. Customize it so that it works for you. Going through and relaxing all parts of you before you go into the visualization helps you more vividly experience the visualization. And we know from Goddard that if we work through visualizations, we learn to manifest that which we want to experience. So see yourself doing all parts of it. I suggest that you give yourself 10 to 15 minutes to do that whole process. We didn't spend that. But I suggest you give yourself 10 or 15 minutes to do it, removing the distractions as much as possible. Walk yourself through your visualization. And then when you come out of it, spend time, 5-10 minutes minimum, if you can, writing out the things that came to you. What were the thoughts? What were the feelings that came up for you? What were the ideas that Divine put in you in that moment to help you know how to work through the next steps for bringing that thing into your experience? If you notice some tension while you're starting to go through the visualization at some part in your body, remind yourself that that part of your body is relaxed, but make note of it because it has meaning. So when you've come out of it, you might want to explore, maybe Louise Hay, explore what is that part of my body telling me? I'm still feeling some tension in my neck. Louise Hayes says, because I feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. I'm feeling something in my lower back. Louise Hayes says that has something to do with some money stuff. Notice where that tension is still being held in your body so that you can do some work with that information. I invite you to take a deep breath. We've done some stuff. We've given you some tools. If you need to get up, to stretch, to maybe take a short walk or go to the restroom, you feel free to do that now, if there are any pressing questions just yet. No, y'all ready to go? Oh. Oh, you were pointing to her? No, he had a question. For the recording, excuse me.
Thank you. This is an excellent therapy.
Thank you.
And I want to know, do you do this outside of the church?
I do. We'll talk about that later. I do.
No question is a silly question, right?
No question is a silly question.
You said your name in the beginning of your presentation.
I did.
But all throughout talking about your affliction, I didn't hear you say your name again.
I did.
Can you please say your name for us so that we can all correctly pronounce your name?
With pleasure. Thank you. My name is Guileine Kraft. The Guileine part is the part that's a little bit challenging for some folks. And I typically give it to you phonetically when you ask for it or when you may be experiencing some challenges with it. Phonetically, it is G-E-E, Guy, like geese, Lynn. Guileine. Thank you. The phonetically or the actual spelling? That typically doesn't help. It typically messes with you, but we'll go with it. Oh, it's on the cover page. Thank you.
Dr. Guileine.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I've had a tragedy in my family.
Sorry.
And I'm wondering, and this family doesn't live in Florida.
A little closer.
This family doesn't live in Florida.
Okay.
Could you assist them, even though they don't live in Florida?
That's a conversation for afterwards, because I need a little bit more information to be able to answer that question
All right.
ethically. Thank you, Executive Minister.
My question is, if you feel like you have some sense of what this thing is here to teach you, but you're having difficulty moving beyond it, does that mean you have it wrong, or there's multiple layers? Because you keep saying go back, because sometimes I feel like, all right, I've sort of distilled it a bit and I understand what may have gotten it to the point where it is, but it just doesn't seem to move. I'm still there, so I'm wondering, what is that about?
So that's a wonderful question.
More digging, I guess.
Yeah, there's, as Reverend Anna would say a lot in Bible study, you got to go deeper. And so if you're doing the work, there's no wrong in the work. There isn't wrong information that's coming up for you. If you're still having some challenges moving past it, there is more for you to uncover. There is more for you to unpack. You might also find benefit from having conversation with a trusted someone that may be able to help provide you with some different perspective. Because it may be that your focus in the picture is in the wrong place. And not wrong necessarily, it's more like shift your focus into a different part of the frame. So if you think about a picture frame, when you're taking a picture, the lens focuses on whatever part of the frame, whatever part of the image that you're telling it to focus on. You might need to shift what it is that you're focusing on within the frame and consider a different perspective. And sometimes other people can help you do that. I don't make decisions for clients. That is not my job. What I do, by and large, is to help give perspective, to help point some things out that you may not have noticed, to help bring your attention to the color in the flowers as we're driving down the road that you didn't quite notice were bright purple, because that may have some meaning for you. And so having some conversation with some other folks, trusted somebody, or even a professional somebody, to help give you some perspective on that and to help share with you some options. And some of those options may be other lessons that you weren't quite seeing because you were looking over here and the lesson was over here, so to speak. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
So my question is,
Yeah.
I currently take something to help with overthinking. Are there any tools that you could recommend to help with overthinking? 'Cause my mind does not shut off, even when I'm affirming and constantly and then I find myself fighting the overthinking, and I'm thinking about why I'm overthinking and why I'm overthinking. It's just a cycle that does not end.
So there are a couple of things that I would say. One of them is you're not understanding the root of what you think you're thinking about. So there's something to understand about what that's coming to tell you, what's that coming to show you, what that's coming to teach you. Another thing that I will say is that if the affirmations don't seem to be working, my suspicion with the limited information that I have is it's not the right affirmation for that time or for that thing, or you're not using it enough, right? Because you can only hold one thought at a time. It's the thing that my mother had said to me a lot of times years ago. We think we're thinking about 18 different things all at the same time. That doesn't really happen. That's not really possible. We can only hold one thought at a time. And so when you recognize that you're having a thought you don't want to have go-to mantras, affirmations, whatever categorization works for you, and keep repeating them. You might need to start repeating them out loud to drown out the voice in your head. Or you might just need to say them to yourself silently. It depends on what that thing is that you think you're overthinking about. And the third thing I will say is there's some, which we're getting ready to do next, there's some work that may need to be done in terms of reclaiming your belovedness, reclaiming your worth, reclaiming your understanding of who and whose you are. Because those thoughts, I'm gonna guess, are related to something that's in direct contradiction to you are God's beloved, you are worthy. In some way, shape, or form, it's probably rooted in that. So we gotta come back to that.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to say thank you for this process. Thank you for the opportunity to think through how to get from one side to the other. The other thing I would like to say that I'm grateful for in this process is the thought that I have to stop and celebrate as I go through the process.
Yeah.
I may have gone through step one and may have to revisit it, but I also have to stop and celebrate where I am in the process. So I'm very, very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Last pressing question? Oh. Oh, we have two more, then we're going to move on.
The part of forgiving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Each time I think I've managed it, I keep allowing outside factors or people to make me feel guilty again. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I stop letting these things or these people affect my process of forgiving myself?
Say that again, Michelle. Rinse and repeat is what she said. Rinse and repeat. So there's something that's you still haven't quite learned from it just yet. There's something that you haven't quite seen just yet in it. And part of what you said was, I haven't stopped letting other people make me feel this way. They can't make you feel anything, Sylvia. Why are you letting you continue to feel that way?
That's a good question.
It is indeed the question, right? Because they can't make you feel anything. And so the digging up is in, where is it coming from in you? What are they showing you about you? Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to like it a lot of times. It's going to be very uncomfortable a lot of times. And as you do it, I find with my own work, because I don't just give this to people to do. I do it first before I ever give it to anybody else. Know that, right? I am a therapist who says you don't go to a therapist who doesn't have a therapist, and I very much mean that. But I don't give somebody something to do that I haven't done myself. I regularly have experiences and sessions with clients where it's like, who said that? Where did that come from? And I regularly have aha moments when I'm in sessions with clients. And I tell clients, that was for me. Like, it may have seemed like it was for you, but really it was for me. And I tell clients that because I drew it to me. Yeah, I'm the trained professional, but I'm still having the experience. And when I shifted to that in my practice, man. Sir.
Yes, I don't have a question. I have a comment. I am a health minister, and I deal with the physical body, and you deal with the mental. But both of them connect.
Absolutely.
And what I found out, and they say, if you hold on to a grudge or you don't regret,
it's going to show up.
It's just like drinking poison
It's
and
gonna
hoping
show
somebody else die.
It's going to show up.
Yeah, and the reason why is because your thoughts have chemical messages.
Yes.
That tells your hormones what to do. And most of the time when we're stressed, our hormones like cortisol, adrenaline, cause our blood vessels to narrow. And if you have a clot or a clot running through your blood vessels, it can stop circulation, and that's where a lot of heart attacks, strokes, and other damage come in. So what I love about your program is that you're telling people to look at themselves first and heal yourself, because what you're doing outside has nothing to do with inside. That's what I want to say.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Tanisha. Real quickly, y'all, we got more work to do. I'll stand near you so it'll pick
What I
up.
want you to know is this. The process that you put me through has made me cry for a long time. Because I don't like what you made me think and the things I wrote down. I don't know what the other people are going through, but I really kind of got pissed off trying to do this exercise.
That's
I don't know
okay.
about the rest of it.
I still love you.
I want you to know that it stirred up so many emotions in me. I'm surprised I feel this. But thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. This is a confession, not a question.
Okay.
When I needed to say your name on the call to announce this, I Googled it. I Googled.
Did it come up?
It came up.
Hot damn.
It came up with different spellings, but it came up.
Yeah.
I was still very hesitant, and I didn't want to mess it up.
Thank you.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is, when people mess up your name, it has nothing to do
With me.
With you. It really doesn't. Mm-hmm. And I'm just grateful that I think I got it right. I did a couple of translations and listened, and I tried to get it right, and I think I got it right. But I just wanted to say, it's not about you, it's about us. And
thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right, slide please. Nice little break. Breaking a little bit longer for a quick English lesson. Right? So my honey has a daughter. She's 10 in the 6th grade, and I'm the grammar police because I work to help to ensure that she is using proper grammar and proper sentence structure. She lives in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and they say things a little different. And it's not that their way of saying things is wrong. It's just that when this rather intelligent 10-year-old in the 6th grade, let that sink in for a moment, gets to places where she's going, no doubt, she needs the grammar. So we're going to do a quick English lesson. The suffix ness refers to the quality, state, or condition of something. Happiness, quality of being happy. Calmness, the condition of being calm. Awareness, the state of being aware. So ness, state, quality, or condition of. Slide, please. Next lesson, beloved. This is my beloved, in whom I am well pleased and delighted. The quality, state, or condition of being dearly loved. Being cherished, being dear to the heart, and not just any heart, God's heart. To be beloved is to be valued, to be prized, to be precious. So we've cleared some space, and we need to fill some space now, right? Sylvia feels like, she want to fight me. And that's okay. We're going to be in Bible study tomorrow morning, hugging it out. It's going to be all good. Slide, please. But I'm helping Sylvia and everybody to understand, to expand your knowing, and more specifically, your feeling belovedness. Knowing, feeling, embodying that you are God's beloved because you are a part of a beloved community. You are a walking, talking, moving example of the quality, state, or condition of being loved, of being love, of being cherished. Should you choose to accept it? And I'm not giving you a choice today, at least for this time that we have left. Because I see that you are God's beloved. Slide, please. Why belovedness? Why should I care or understand about belovedness? Because each of us, consciously or subconsciously, has on some level a tendency to self-reject, to self-deprecate. And when we self-reject and self-deprecate, the doctor just told you, that vibrates in your heart, in your mind, and in your psyche. And those vibrations do a thing. Those vibrations are creating negative emotions and can lead to your having medical experiences beyond mental and emotional experiences. You are a whole person with a whole system and a whole body having whole experiences. What happens in my thought and my feelings are going to happen in my body because I televise everything that I'm doing and thinking, even when I don't want to. According to the Dutch Catholic priest, professor, writer, and theologian Henri Nouwen, who wrote Beyond the Mirror, once we accept the truth that we are God's beloved child and children, we can then televise our belovedness, and we can televise our revolution. And once I have received these words fully, I am set free from my compulsion to prove myself. From my compulsion to prove myself, I am set free. Once I have accepted the truth that I am God's beloved child, unconditionally loved, I can be sent into the world to speak and to act as Jesus did. Once I accept that I am God's beloved child, I can be sent into the world to televise my revolution. Slide, please. And just to put it in some simpler terms, becoming the beloved means letting the truth of our belovedness become infleshed in everything we think, say, and do. Once I accept my belovedness, it can't help but to be televised. You can't help but to see it all over me. And we know that because Emmett Fox taught us, Emmett Fox tells us, that there is no such thing as undemonstrated understanding. Once I understand that I am beloved, I have no choice but to manifest it, but to act it out. It doesn't mean I won't need to be reminded from time to time, but when I understand it, it will show up. And if you were in church this past Sunday, Reverend Shakira even shared in her Sunday lesson that faith is a verb. We always thought of love as a verb, but faith is also a verb. As I understand faith, my faith has no choice but to demonstrate. It has no choice but to show up. That I trust God. That I know that all things are going to be done. And so it is true with belovedness. Once I remember I am beloved, my belovedness shall be televised. Slide, please. So let's turn to reclaiming our belovedness. We're reclaiming it because we were born beloved. Whether we wanted to or not, whether we thought it or not, we were born beloved and we knew we were beloved at that time. Things happened. Race consciousness came into play, and if you're in the New Thought understanding, you know that race consciousness refers to society, peanut gallery, those outside noises, those outside voices that tell you all sorts of things about you that have nothing to do with you and are none of your business. Race consciousness got in the way and helped to influence me to forget that I am beloved. Because the human in me temporarily interrupted my broadcast. Yeah, I'm working it all the way through. The human in me temporarily interrupted the broadcast. You get that green line to come across the top. Yep, messed it up. I forgot. I need to be reminded. Because nothing real can be threatened and nothing unreal exists. I just forgot. Still there. Because what's real is that I am beloved. What's not real is the human ego that got in the way. That needs to be set down somewhere. So only when my belovedness exists, only when I remember my belovedness and I am deconstructing the human ego to allow the God ego to come in, does the freedom to fully express happen. So we're going to start to work on self-rejection. Slide, please. So we want to understand self-rejection in order to get to belovedness, because self-rejection is basically internalizing the calcification, H. Emily Cady, the calcification of the affliction. That playing that thing on repeat, like I'm getting residuals from it, it's not benefiting me any. Because even if I'm getting a few pennies, then pennies ain't enough, because my belovedness has no limits. So when I'm doing that self-deprecation, I'm just fooling myself. I'm just ignoring the information that has been there from the beginning. I'm allowing the self-sabotage. And really, I'm using it as a defense mechanism. Maybe because I'm scared of what I think is to come next, what I've been shown is next for me. Or maybe because even if I do it, I'm not quite sure what it's going to be on the other side of it. The unknown is scary. So I sabotage it. Life is a series of self-fulfilling prophecies. If I say it ain't gonna be, I'm gonna make it not be, because I'm gonna self-sabotage it. But really, it's never possible to get rid of my belovedness. I just have to stop getting in my own way. So again, as Reverend Anna would often remind us of in Bible studies, that it's time to put some new wrinkles on our brains. So we're gonna work on putting some new wrinkles on our brains. Slide, please. Because if you reject discipline, you only harm yourself. But if you listen to correction, you can grow in understanding. I told you that all of this is based in Scripture. It's all there. So let's work on awakening our belovedness, so that we can make active choices about televising our belovedness. Slide, please. I'm absolutely convinced that nothing, absolutely nothing, can get between us and God's love. So if you're working in your workbooks, next we're going to respond to a few statements, a few questions, to help us to identify the root sources of the self-rejection we have on repeat in our heads. You might again get a little uncomfortable with me. That's okay. I can take it. I'm all right with it. I'm gonna love you anyway, and there's nothing you can do about it. Slide, please. So we're gonna start going through these questions or statements, and I'm gonna give you about 90 seconds to respond to them. In your workbooks, you have the statement there, and you have some examples to help. Step 1 of phase 1, we're beginning to deconstruct our self-rejection. I make or have made my worth or worthiness conditional by. When my kids go off to college, I'm gonna do this thing for myself. When I get that promotion, I'm gonna buy those shoes. I'll be pretty when. I will believe that I have arrived when I've done. How do you put conditions on your self, on your worthiness? Slide, please. What parts of myself have I rejected or tried to hide to be acceptable? How do I treat those parts? I was told I was too emotional, so I had to toughen up and not show any emotion. You won't make me cry. I ain't gonna smile. But how do I treat those parts now? Do I still refuse to cry? Will I give myself permission to feel something? Slide, please. If I believed I was deeply loved exactly as I am, what would I let go of? What would I stop striving for? What would I stop apologizing for? What would I stop trying to prove to other people that I'm really just trying to prove to myself? All right. Might have felt like a lot again. So let's take a moment to breathe. Slide, please. Take everything out of your hands. Music, please. Again, I invite you to close your eyes. Take some deep breaths, slow your exhale. It's time to own your belovedness. I've owned my fear and all my self-loathing. I've owned the voices inside my head. I've owned the shame and reproach of my failure. It's time I own my belovedness. I've owned my past and how it's defined me. I've owned everything everybody else says. It's time to hear what God has spoken. It's time I own my belovedness. God says I'm divine. God smiled when God made me. I am beautiful in every way. God's love for me is fierce and unending. God will come find me whatever it takes. I am beloved. I've owned the mess I see in the mirror. I've owned the lies that I'm just not enough. I've been so blinded by all my comparing. It's time to own my belovedness. God says I'm precious. God smiled when God made me. I'm amazing in every way. God's love for me is fierce and unending. Spirit will come find me, whatever it takes. I am beloved. I am completely loved and fully known. I believe Jesus has shown me the way to take my heart home to goodness and love. God says I am worthy. God smiled when God made me. I am marvelous in every way. God's love for me is fierce and unending. God will come find me, whatever it takes. God says I am beloved. God smiled when God made me. I am spectacular in every way. God's love for me is fierce and unending. Spirit will come find me, whatever it takes. I am beloved. I choose now to own my belovedness. I choose now to own my belovedness. Right here, right now, today, I own my belovedness. Slide, please. So that is an adaptation to a song called Beloved on an album by Sarah Kroger. If you are so inclined, I suggest you look it up. I will tell you though, for new folks, however, the adaptation is because of some stuff that don't quite work with us. But you have it in your workbook. Just to clear some space to work to phase 2 of owning our belovedness. To embracing the belovedness, there is a power for God in the universe greater than you, and you can use it. Because God not only loves you, but also has put its hand on you for something special that only you can do. Slide, please. So part 1 of phase 2, when I say or hear I am beloved by God, I think or feel, what does that do inside of me? It could be uncomfortable, that's okay. It could feel refreshing. It could feel warm. It could feel crazy. You can't possibly be talking about me. There are some people who feel that. And that is okay, and part of why we're doing this. Might not feel like those shoes quite fit. We're just going to help you get some bigger shoes. What does it feel like when I hear or think, I am beloved by God? I am God's beloved. Slide, please. I want you to write a letter. And not just any letter, a love letter. But you're not writing it to someone. The Spirit in you, the Christ in you, is writing a love letter to you. Reminding you that it has always been there with you, reminding you of how marvelous you are, how amazing you are, how gorgeous you are, how perfect you are for every task on your plate. Every lesson that came to grow you. Slide, please. Part 3 of embracing belovedness. When I forget my belovedness, here's what I'm going to do. I might meditate. I might go for a walk and admire the trees, the birds singing, the clouds in the sky, and take deep breaths. And remember that I am a part of this amazing universe. I might go into prayer. Remember aligning my thoughts, feelings, and actions with divine mind. Also important to keep in mind that sometimes I might just need to have a good cry. I might just need to have a release of some emotion before I get to the meditating or before I get to the praying or while I'm on that walk. It is important to remember that sometimes I need to attend to the elevation in my emotional tension so that I can help myself think more clearly, feel more clearly, do more clearly. And sometimes I have to release my emotional tension to help myself to be reminded of my belovedness. So when I forget my belovedness, here's what I'm going to do. Slide, please. And all of that means I'm infusing love. I'm infusing love in me first and foremost. So we've gone through some deconstructing of our self-rejection, deconstructing our self-sabotage, deconstructing that adverse ego, setting the humanness aside to allow God to shine through, to focus on our belovedness. It's going to take work. It's not a one-shot deal. You're going to have to rinse and repeat, and rinse and repeat, and rinse and repeat. But we can make a contract with ourselves, because we can make a decision about what the next season of this life is going to broadcast on television. And it can start with infusing love, and it's about seeing and unconditionally honoring not just the belovedness in ourselves, but also the belovedness in other people, because we are all a part of a beloved community. Because not only can I love people to the extent that I love myself, but if I work to infuse love in other people, I put myself in the flow. I allow myself to be a part of giving and receiving. I allow myself to be a part of that flow of give and take and the law of circulation. Because we know that we are all God's children, so there's no reason for us to treat anybody else any differently, and there's no reason to treat ourselves poorly, because we're really only treating other people the way we treat ourselves. So let's pump some love into it, will we? Slide, please. But first we got to figure out, who do we have some difficulty with in our lives? Told you there were going to be some toe stomping. Who in my life do I find difficulty to see divine or beloved? It can be somebody that you actually know. It can be somebody that you kind of sort of know. It could even be somebody that sits in the seat of office of a country. No. Because believe it or not, there's belovedness in that one too. And I serve myself well when I look for the belovedness in them. Because what I think I'm giving out is coming back. And I don't want that back. So I'm looking for the divine or the belovedness in them, but I first have to examine, why do I have difficulty seeing belovedness and divinity in them? So who in my life do I find it difficult to see? What might Spirit be inviting me to see differently? What might Spirit be inviting me to see about myself? Maybe there's some stuff I don't like that I'm doing, but I'm not ready to admit it to myself. Slide, please. How often do I make comparisons or judgments about other people? What would change if I looked at others through the eyes of the Christ within me? How would I look if I chose to see through the eyes of the Christ within me? A part of that self-rejection is comparing, judging myself, judging other people, which really is just a judgment about myself when I think I'm judging other people. Comparing, they're never apples and apples. It is always an apple and a broccoli. If I chose to look through the eyes of Christ within me, how would I see them? And then how would I see me? If I'm looking at me through the eyes of the Christ in me, through the eyes of Guileine the Christ. Slide, please. How can I become a mirror of belovedness for others? Being a mirror of belovedness for others is just reflecting back at them what you see in them when you're looking through the eyes of Christ. When you're reflecting back at them what God sees in them and knows for them. It's not always words. Sometimes it's listening attentively. Sometimes it's sending a heart emoji. Sometimes it's saying a prayer. It's okay to send love from a distance. It's okay to reflect belovedness from a distance. Slide, please. So our last breathe exercise, this one's going to be a little different. You need a partner for this one, but I don't want you to do it with the person sitting next to you because you might have come in with them. So I want you to do it with the person in front of you or behind you. And you're going to pick a person 1 and a person 2. And if you just don't want to have a partner, that's okay too. You can do this with yourself. If you didn't come with the person next to you, it's perfectly okay to do it with the person next to you. So person 1, when we get started, is going to read these affirming truths to person 2. Person 1 is going to be speaking as though they are speaking from the voice of God. Person 2 is invited to put their hand over their heart while they're listening to the affirming truths over them. But you're only allowed to say something like thank you, or just accept and appreciate the affirming truths that have been spoken over you. So when you're ready, person 1, please affirm the truths over person 2. Behold the Christ in you. You are love expressing perfectly. You are an unrepeatable idea in the mind of God. You are enough. You are divine. You are whole. Ashe. Not yet. Person 2 should just kind of take that in. and take a breath. And yes, go ahead and switch. Person 2 will not be affirming to person 1. Person 1 with their hand over their heart, just receiving the affirming truths. Person 2 should be speaking from the voice of God. You can do it to him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Take a breath. Just take note of what that felt like to hear those affirming truths over you. For some of us, it does a thing. For those that it may not feel like it does a thing just yet, I'm hopeful it'll come in time. Because I'm going to tell you, I behold the Christ in each one of you. You are love expressing perfectly. You are an unrepeatable idea in the mind of God. You are enough. You are divine. You are whole. Just take a note for yourself and take a breath of what that feels like. And know that you can share that with other people. That is one way of infusing love in others. You write it on a card, send it in the mail, send it in a text message, in an email. Just put it out into the ethers. It does a thing. It does a thing to you to say it, and it does a thing to you to hear it. Slide, please. Again. Slide, please. Slide, please. That was my fault. Slide, please. Okay. So I want us to seal it as a group, affirming a truth for ourselves, affirming a truth for a community that we are a part of, for a family that we are a part of, whether you're related by blood or they're friends that have been chosen as family. This is part of going through some of the credits, if you will, of that which we are choosing to televise. With your hand over your heart, together, and if you so choose, out loud, please. I seal this truth in my heart. I walk forward as one who remembers who I am. I am the beloved of God, expressing divine love now. I am the joy of spirit in form. I am the light of God. I am worthy, whole, and eternally supported. I am the expression of perfect love now and always. And so it is. Slide, please. Just take a breath. And I've said that many times. Take a breath, breathe. Because even just taking a couple of deep breaths helps to lower our emotional tension, helps to lower our blood pressure, helps to clear our minds just a bit. Yeah. Slide, please. So now you got to decide how you're going to be the change. Because in Isaiah 24:14, they lift up their voices, they sing for joy, they shout from the west over the majesty of the Lord. You are the voices, you are the songs, you are the joy, you are the one shouting. You are the one televising. So what are you going to do to publish your broadcasting schedule? Yep, I'm using it for everything it's worth. So reflect. As I continue to televise my revolution from a place of enhanced awareness of my belovedness, what will I do differently beginning now? Will I recite my belovedness to myself in the mirror every day, 3 times a day, whatever is needed, to remind myself of my belovedness? Talking to yourself in the mirror might make you feel crazy. It is powerful beyond measure. Seeing yourself say those things to you, your view of yourself will begin to shift, and you won't even realize it until one day it just is. So reciting those affirming truths to yourself in the mirror can help, even if it's just a compact. What are you going to begin to do today to remind yourself that you are a part of the beloved community, that you are God's beloved, that you are the revolution? Because we need you for this world. We need you for this country. We need you for everything and all of the glory that you came to bring. We need you to remember your belovedness, slide, because your revolution is being televised, whether you want it to or not. So blow your trumpet from Jerusalem. Sound the alarm throughout the land of Judah. Cry it, shout it, say it, claim your revolution. Slide, please, and just take a breath. It may not seem like it was a lot. You might not be feeling it right now, and you might. And if you're not feeling it right now, you might feel it later, or when you choose to decide to do your work. And if you don't deliberately choose to decide to do your work will come find you. Your work will come find you. Slide, please. So I want your thoughts, your questions, your reflections. How did it feel? How did it go? I don't like that lady. What Sylvia shared with me is perfectly okay and welcomed, as a matter of fact. One, it tells me I was doing my job right. 2, it helps me to just know how people work and feel and move through this for the next time. Any questions, any reflections, any comments? Angie Terry. Yes, ma'am.
You knew I was coming. One of our Sunday school teachers that have picked the baton up from our beloved Reverend Anna, and our beloved Reverend Lottie, and our beloved Reverend Mary. On behalf of the Sunday school class, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for continuing to remind us of why we are here in this kind of teaching, learning these nuggets of truth. I also want to say thank you to UTC, Reverend Tarnisha, my outreach minister. it has been a rough 4 months for the church and personally for myself. So a session such as this has helped me to release, to allow those that have made a decision to not be here in person to love them where they are and know that they loved me when they were here, as they were and is. So let's take these nuggets of love and belovedness and breathing and truth with us. It has really been an awesome experience, and I can speak personally. I was over here crying with Angela because we came here in this church together almost 30 years ago, and she reminded me of my growth. So thank you also for reminding me of my growth and all of our growth. Thank you, UTC.
Thank you, Angie. And Angie makes an important point. Forgiveness work doesn't have to be with the living, with the people we can see. It can still be done with somebody who, as Angie said it, has chosen to no longer be here in physical form. Their not being here has nothing to do with your forgiveness work, because it's your work. You don't have to still be in contact with somebody that you're doing forgiveness work with. And you don't have to get back in contact with them after you've done it. That may be what's good for you and what's for you, but it may not be, and it's okay for it to not be. You can love people from a distance, and you can receive love from a distance. Thank you, Angie. Questions, comments? Tanisha. The important part is to do your work. And like I said, if you don't choose to do your work will come find you.
I just want to comment on, first I want to thank you again, but I want to comment on what they just said and what you just said about forgiving someone who's not even alive. I lost my wife to cancer. She had it twice because she could not forgive her father. And I noticed all through the years, 20 years, she would write about it, she'd write books about it and everything like that. And she was trying to find out how to do what you're doing to eliminate it. But she could not fight through it. And at the end, like I said, I contribute her sickness, which was breast cancer, to her thinking. And reading the books, you can see it. So this is very therapeutic. And I hope we understand how important this is for us mentally, because stress is the #1 killer. And this is one of the reasons why we have a lot of these diseases. And we don't talk about mental health as much as we should. So I thank you.
Thank you. Breathe. Just breathe.
I'm glad I was invited by my faithful sister over here in the body of Christ. Thank you. What I would like to say about forgiveness, first you have to forgive yourself. That's #1. Forgive yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I forgive you, and call out your name. That's the first thing. Forgive you for what you've been through. Forgive you how you hurt yourself. Forgive you what you did to other people. Then you have a heart. When somebody come to you and ask for forgiveness, forgive them. Don't hold it within, because God look at that first. Who have you forgive? Have you forgive yourself? Who hurt you and you still holding on to grudges? Let it go. Ain't gonna do nothing but kill you anyway. Let that go. Family, friends, lover, whoever, even your worst enemy, God loved Lucifer. He's still in hell doing his work, but I ain't trying to join him. I'm trying to get to heaven. And me getting to heaven, first of all, is forgiveness. Forgive me and forgive those that done me wrong. If they walk by and say hi, say hi. If they don't walk by and say nothing, it's still good with me because I love me. And learn to love yourself. Be that person in the mirror and say, I love me, girl, man, you was gorgeous. Ooh, you look good. I love the way you smell. Love yourself. If nobody else don't love you, love you. For you are you. And nobody else is not like you. They may try to impersonate you, copy you, but they still not you because you are only one original person.
That's right.
That's what I got to say. God bless you all.
It might take you putting on a little something that makes you feel kind of good. If you came to the last workshop and you're here now, I said in the last one, I put on something that makes me feel a certain kind of way when I'm doing this, which is part of helping me to feel the way that I want to feel while I'm doing this. You might just need to put on a little something. And if you're not ready to forgive yourself, go on ahead and do the work to forgive them and then come back to you. Because you're not forgiving other people could be the difference between you're choosing to experience heaven right here, right now, or you're choosing to experience hell right here, right now. Because I don't have to go someplace to go experience heaven. I can choose to do that right here and right now. And I can choose to experience hell right here and right now. And I don't want that. I choose to experience belovedness.
Thank you so very much for this workshop. I'm just like Sylvia. I wanted to cry and trying to hold back some things that had happened to me. A few years back, and I'm going to say it out, I had colon cancer. And what I found out with the colon cancer was a lot of stuff that I had inside of me that I didn't let go. And however people did me, I just took it in. I suppressed it. And I just want to say thank you so much, because this teaching has really helped me to become free, and it's allowing me to be transparent and let go of stuff. I used to feel like my mom loved my brother that lived in Dallas more than she loved me. But the day that she made her transition, and she passed away at the age of 43, I carried that a lot myself, and I blamed myself for it. But her best friend came to me the day of her homegoing service and said, your mom was so proud of you. She never told you, but she was very proud of you. So it's a lot of stuff that I was carrying, and I'm so thankful that I'm able to release it and drop it today. Thank you so very much for helping me.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think we got two more.
I too want to say thank you for this session, this workshop, this revisiting of truth that we must have all needed. I certainly needed it, and yesterday, I've gone through a lot this past while. I've gone through a lot. And yesterday was one of those days that I finally decided I don't have to stand up and show up for everybody and everything. I mean, this was going to be a healing day for me today. So I went to bed and I said, I'm not showing up. I'm not going. Even though people would expect me to go, I'm not going. I'm going to heal me. And I said, God, let me heal me. I got up, got dressed, did what I had to do, and came and realized that God answered my prayers. And I thank you for allowing me to have ways that I can heal me on a daily basis. I appreciate this so, so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We are giving Reverend Tanisha her steps today.
Guileine, thank you. I came in late today.
You came in right on time.
I almost didn't make it. I have a lot of responsibilities, but I have to tell you, this has been wonderful.
Thank you.
It has relieved some of my stress, some of my anxiety, and it's given me something to work with. So I have a lot of work to do, and I continue to ask for prayer, but working with this will bring me through it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Sorry? The next session is TBD'd.
It's not really a question, but I'd like to know, where can I get that T-shirt?
It's coming. It's coming. First, let's take care of business. Slide, please. Love offering. If you are so inclined to give to this ministry, we ask that you choose to do so in monetary form, and we ask that you share your love as well. We need your love, we need your love, we need your love. If you choose to give in monetary form, the options are on the screen for you. There's a QR code. You can choose to do so through your banking institution with Zelle. There are 2 baskets as you're going to be leaving the sanctuary, where you can drop any paper cash, any checks, servants' bonds, anything of this sort. And any prayer requests as well.
Okay, while you whispering that, I'm just overwhelmed and grateful. We had a conversation like 9 months ago.
July.
It took 9 months. Oh, where is it?
In your hand.
I'm out of this world. 9 months ago, I called out of the blue, and your heart opened up and said yes. And we heard your call, because as we make our wellness calls monthly, you let us know what you need support on. And it's a prayer and healing ministry. Our work is to make sure that what you are needing to support you in your work and in your walk is what we're providing. This wonderful lady with this open heart said, let me just check my schedule. Now, mind you, it's Mental Health Month. And Mental Health Month is one of her busiest times. But let's give her a standing ovation. And I got it.
Sweet love.
Guileine.
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 Thank you.
We are just so grateful that you took time to pour your knowledge into us and to support us in our revolution. The revolution continues.
Indeed.
This is just part of the journey. We're grateful that you came out and you're supporting us. We wanted to leave a memory with you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Just to know how much we love and appreciate you, and we are with you as we make the walk. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any first-time visitors? Nope. All of us are family. And in the closing prayer, I'll just do something with you. I have 2 announcements to assist you and support you. In the bookstore.
Before you pray, forgive.
In the bookstore is the book by our founder, Reverend Dr. Mary Tompkin. And it was referred to during the workshop. It's Working on Forgiveness. It's a jewel. And it's the best gift to pass on, because it is one of those gifts that keep on giving. Also, we're asking you, we are out in the community, and we're asking you to purchase one of our new T-shirts. You can do it online. It's not available in the bookstore. So just sign on, just scan and sign on, and purchase a T-shirt, so we'll have a T-shirt going forward. Okay? Reverend Peggy was scheduled to do a prayer.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
We'll come to Reverend Peggy. We need to bless our tithe, or
Yes,
our
Reverend
offerings,
Peggy
rather.
is available to do that.
Slide, please. For those who may not know, the blessing of the offering. Blesses all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. For there is no lack or limitations in the mind of God. Therefore, there can be no lack or limitations in my mind. There is only abundance, and we are grateful for that abundance. And so it is. Amen. So we've done a few things today. Put up the slide, please, what we did. My mother, who is a lifelong educator, I too am an educator, taught me years ago, tell them what you're going to do it, and tell them what you did. So this is what we did. We cleared space and decluttered our minds and hearts. We gained strategies for embracing a culture of excellence, as Reverend Shakira shared, teaching us to embrace the combination of our excellence and divinity. Reverend Jackie Hazel helped us to recognize we are sometimes too hard on ourselves. We deserve to extend compassion and grace to ourselves and to each other. We're responsible for protecting each other, establishing a culture of protection because Michelle Washington reminded us of doing so. Myra Terrelong helped us to allow space for the beauty in us all because we are one, and even if not especially too often, many of us feel unseen, unheard, and unfelt. We all regularly deserve to be reminded of our belovedness. We learn to infuse love in ourselves and each other, which means in the oneness of the universe to perpetuate a culture of peace that Reverend Charles mentioned. Our differences allow for a beautifully colorful tapestry with each of us as an imperative thread that keeps the whole thing together. Because whether we like it or not, whatever our understanding is of ourselves, our understanding will be televised. So if we each work to proceed with right thinking, right words, right feelings, we each do our part to perpetuate a culture of right action through committing to be the change. Committing to televise your revolution, we therefore actively choose what to manifest in the world, and we choose, slide please, that our revolution is televised. That's it, folks. How are you going to choose to televise your revolution? Guileine. And we have Reverend Peggy for the closing prayer, I believe.
We truly had a blessed day.
It should be on.
Let's take a deep cleansing breath, become centered. Father, Mother God, we would just like to thank you for this workshop. We can't thank you enough for the changes that's taking place in our lives. We ask that you continue to bless us as we process this teaching. We thank you for the facilitator that did it today through the Holy Spirit. We thank you for this gathering. And we ask wherever we go today, God, that we will be an expression of your love, that we will radiate the love and the light of the world. We thank you that we are birthing a world, creating that world that will work for everyone. We thank you in the name of the indwelling Christ, and so it is, and it is so. You are blessed.
So I have 4 things to give away. So 4 people who might want to share with me how they're going to choose to televise their revolution.
I'm going to share because it's something that's been in my heart. I am traveling for the first time by myself. I'll be gone for 2 weeks to 2 countries. I don't know anybody on this trip, and all I'm doing is just praying and holding a sacred space for myself, that I will take what you just talked about today. I will take that belovedness in me, and that is what I will project, and that is what I will receive back. To God be the glory.
You want a shirt or a bag? You want a shirt?
I love it. Thank you.
Now Angie raising her hand. How are you going to televise your revolution?
Well, as you guys know, I did the 12 Powers pen. I have made it a commitment that this is the year that they will be televised, but I'm coming out with the loved one first, because before we can do the other 11, we need to know that there is love in the universe, and we're going to start out in English and Spanish and work with Creole, French, and other languages. That will happen this year. I hear you, Reverend Sheila. I hear you. I know. I saw you last week. You gave me the look. It's coming. Thank you, God.
Shirt or bag? T-shirt. I got 2 bags. Anybody going? She told me to go to Michelle first.
I am going to televise my revolution by doing something very personal. I had a restraining order out on someone, a family member, and I reduced the restraining order maybe a year or 2 ago at the advice of the judge. He said to reduce it and not to totally release it, because something may happen. I'm going to believe that something is not going to happen. I'm going to totally release it and know that all will be well. And I wrote it on my paper to prove it. I didn't just make it up to get the bag. And I had an incident at my job after being there 27 years. All of this is really personal. And it was a racial discrimination incident. And you all don't know how I felt. I never thought that something could bother me. I had never had or been bothered by racial incident. But this really took me down right after I had given a lesson at the podium about having mercy. And I didn't want to have mercy on that person. And so the thing that we just did, the exercise, I put note to Scott. That's the name of the person. And I'm gonna say those words to him this week. So that's
Blue or green? Blue or green? Peggy. No, it ain't. It is not Penny Annie, Anita.
What I plan on doing, changing in my life, I will no longer walk with my head down. I'm going to show up in who I am created to be, and I'm going to walk in boldness, and I'm going to go deeper into my studies, and I will take my teaching far and near across the land.
So, I've gotten the question. You registered when you came in, and I will be getting your email address, and I will share with you the form to order my revolution will be televised shirt or bag if you so desire. I also got the question about doing this work otherwise. I have started to launch virtual coaching that will share a lot of these, share similar kinds of activities. That is not therapy, it is coaching. So it would allow me to do work with people across multiple states. Because as a licensed therapist, I can only do therapy with somebody if I'm licensed in the state that they are permanent resident in. But if I'm doing coaching, which is what this is, I can do it with anybody, anywhere that has access to the internet.
That's
I didn't say I was doing it for free. Yes.
How can we get the session that was recorded today?
So it was recorded and it should be on UTC's archive, in UTC's archives. Oh. I also will be getting a recording of it and we'll be posting the recording online.
Oh, wonderful. I will share.
Y'all ain't ready to go.
I didn't know this was going to be recorded. I owe too many people money.
It was stated at the beginning. Thank you so much. You all have been amazing. Your consciousness has really helped me to get through this. As you know, we competed with Formula One and with technology, but it went exactly as it was intended to go. So thank you for your consciousness. Thank you for your love. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you again for joining me and walking with me through Your Revolution Shall Be Televised. I shared with you that you would have an opportunity to consider joining me for future VuTech virtual workshops similar to this one. You can do so by scanning the QR code on the screen or sending an email to therapy@vutech.world to get the form to either pre-register for the next workshop or to request information about future VuTech virtual workshops. The QR code at the bottom of the screen can be scanned or email info@gcrafts.com to receive the form to order your My Revolution is Televised t-shirt or tote bags. Feel free to go ahead and share them with any friends or family that you feel might be interested. We are happy to share with you future VuTech virtual workshops or My Revolution is Televised graphic. So please feel free to send the email or scan the QR code. And again, thank you for joining me. My goal and VuTech's mission is always to change the world by changing one, because we know that if we have changed just one life, we have changed the entire world. Be well, beloved, and good day.
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised.